What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are all doing well. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever lost motivation, right? As we know by now, motivation is fickle, right? Like it comes some days and it can go just as quickly, right? But in this video, I want to share 3 tips when you lose motivation to hopefully get you back on track, right? And the first thing that we're going to be talking about is when you feel yourself losing motivation. Number 1, listen to some motivational audios in your everyday tasks, right? So many times we may go inside the gym and we're listening to music, and that may get you pumped up, or you're going on your run, that may get you pumped up, or whatever it is that you're doing. You could be writing a blog post, writing emails, whatever that your everyday task looks like. Maybe instead of listening to music, maybe you turn on your favorite speaker. Maybe you turn on a podcast. Maybe you turn on an interview from someone who may inspire you, right? Because what you're doing then is you're putting those positive words and affirmation in your subconscious mind, right? We operate in the conscious state, right? In the conscious state, we're trying to navigate through the things that we have to get done for the day and what our evening and our night is going to look like. So our mind is always moving a million miles a minute, right? But our subconscious mind, when we continue to feed it these positive words and these positive information and these positive conversations, when you're tired, your subconscious mind is going to bring some stimulus to it and shock you and say, look, even though you're tired, you got to keep going. Why? Because for the past hour, you've been hearing somebody tell you to keep pressing forwards and to keep persevering when you're tired, that you just go ahead and do it without even thinking about it, right? So that's why it's important in your everyday tasks to make that shift, to bring back that motivation, to just turn on something that is inspiring in audio form as you're doing your everyday task. Tip number 2, think bigger than yourself. Sometimes when we're discouraged or when we're annoyed or when we're frustrated, we get so attached to the emotion of what we're going through that it leaves us discouraged and we go off to a different path, right? But when you're trying to regain your motivation, think about something bigger than yourself, right? So when you're tired, think about what you can do if you continue pressing forward because of what you're going to do for your family line, right? I can't tell you how many times when I used to run track and field that I would be tired from the session and I would still have one more rep left. And I would tell myself, if I get up and I do this one rep to the best of my ability, this one rep that I'm tired now in November is going to help me run fast down the road at Canadian Championships in July. That is going to help me become an Olympic champion in August, right? So I had to create this image of something bigger than myself than what I was feeling in that current moment. I don't know what that may look like for you, but when you feel yourself losing motivation, you feel yourself battling discouragement, think about what you can do for your family if you find a way to push past this task. Think about what cycle that you can break if you find a way to push through and persevere through this moment, right? Sometimes when we think about ourselves, we will let ourselves down. But when we think about something bigger than ourselves, we will work that much more and put that much more effort towards making sure that we find a way to overcome what we're going through. Third tip number 3, right? Take a step back if you need to. This is a fast-paced world. We're told so many different times, if you aren't moving, you're losing, right? Like if you aren't ahead, then you're already behind. Well, I'm a firm believer that sometimes you got to take a step back to see why you want to go forwards in the first place. I'm a firm believer that sometimes you got to take a step backwards to gather yourself, to regroup, to reconstruct, to reconfigure, to reevaluate what you want in order to go forwards. So if you find yourself losing a little bit of motivation, just take a step back and gather yourself, right? And taking a step back to gather yourself can mean many different things. It could mean going for a walk. It could mean going to get a massage. Ladies, I know you want to get a massage. It could mean getting your nails done. It could mean, hanging out with some friends you haven't seen in a while. It could mean taking a weekend to just watch movies and eat ice cream and just lay low, right? But you got to be able to take a step back sometimes and regroup yourself and get realigned to what's inside of your heart, your mind, and your body, right? Sometimes taking a step back is really going to be the missing key in order to help you prolong and push you forwards to sustain and endure the journey that you're going to be on, right? There's nothing wrong with taking a step back. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Sometimes we are too busy that we become drained. So you gotta take a step back to unclutter what is happening so you can finally see clearly all over again, right? Remember that motivation comes and it goes, but you can always find it again if you can become aware of when you feel yourself drifting off. Thank you again for checking out the video. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, leave a comment below, and let me know if one of these tips have worked for you, or let me know some of your tips when it comes to how you gain your motivation back when you feel it drifting. Until then, we'll see you next time.